Well, folks, I'm going to make some of these pots. As you can see, they're an enclosed pot, and then what we do is you cut a hole out. We use them as salt cellars, little salt jars. You can put the salt in a spoon, or you can keep some bulbs of garlic in. And actually, we do sell them as bird feeders. So if you cut a little hole in the bottom, tie some string round, hang that off a tree, fill this full of nuts and food, and the birds will feed. So it can be used for any types of things. So we'll get on and make one of these. I'll show you how we do it. There's not many pots you actually close up entirely and then cut a hole in, but this is one of those. So all I'm going to do first is just throw a bit of a cylinder. See, we didn't actually glaze that pot. We don't glaze those, we just fire them in the glaze kiln without glaze, so you could obviously glaze them as well. So I'm just going to lift this up a touch. Quite a thick pot, so there's no need to get too fine with anything. So I'm going to narrow it in at the bottom, so I'm just going to squeeze with my hands. Push it right in so you get the sort of rounded off bit at the bottom. Doesn't matter if it's gone off centre. And then I'm just going to open it out, just sort of belly it out a bit. You don't want to belly it out as much as you think, because when you enclose it at the top it does actually tend to flatten them out a bit more, make it go a bit wider, so that's fine now. Before I start to close it in, just mop it out before I close it in, obviously. Now to close it in, it's just like collaring it right up, and this will go off centre, but I'm going to use the excess to make a knob, so it doesn't matter what it looks like. So I'm just going to keep going up. To enclose the form. What's left on the top. I'm just going to make a simple knob. I'm just pushing down like so, that'll tidy it all up. And then just form the stem of the knob on the top. Like so, and that's it. So anyway, tomorrow, like I said, all I'm going to use is an old food can, which I'll show you now actually, which is that. I'm just going to use that to chop the hole out, but I'll do that tomorrow. It's dead easy. And then that's it done. It's such a simple pot. So that's it, that's a salt pot. I'll just, like I said, I'll show you tomorrow how I cut the hole out, but it couldn't be easier. But that's the basic shape of the pot anyway, first. Well, I thought I'd show you how I finish off these little salt pot thingies. Just going to give it a little bit of a slight trimming up, nothing special, just take the throwing lines off. That's all I'm going to do to it. Just smooth it off. And then I'm going to use this, which is just a cut off can to cut the hole in. Dead easy. Just going to push it in, spin it round, and that just takes a perfect hole out like that. And then it's just a matter of tidying up the edges with a sponge. Take off the sharp edges. And that's it, just a simple little salt pot with a hole, or a garlic pot, or even a bird feeder if you want to put a hole in and hang it up. So that's it, just spin it round. Simple little enclosed pot with a hole in, with loads of different uses.